Hi, friends. This is Paul at Heroic Goods and Games, and today we are going to open up a box of what's kind of the hottest thing in, I don't know, the history of collecting that I've seen. This is so wild, and I really still can't believe how popular and how out of nowhere the 1990 Marvel Universe trading cards have blown up. So while we're going to open up a box and we're going to see how minty these cards are from inside this box we have here. And it's just wild. It's really exciting to me. I have always loved non-sports trading cards. Since the store has been open, we've always had a pretty healthy selection of non-sports trading cards in stock. So it's just really kind of cool to see the thing that you and many people have liked for a long time now become like the hottest item around. So that's what's kind of happened over the last year or so, and especially just in the last 2 months since Christmas. So with that, we're going to open this box. We're going to talk it through while we do it. Now, for those who have shopped at the store a long time, we have a lot of trading card packs for sale individually. So a lot of times we would just try to find these booster boxes that we could open up. So something like this, you see the perforations already kind of broke on the box. This is not what you'd call a pristine box that you'd want on your shelf for collecting. So try to find these boxes. We'd open them up, sell the packs one at a time. So at this point, that's really not uh, a financial option to do because of the value that's skyrocketed. And we'll talk about why that value has skyrocketed. But for now, we're going to get this box open and start it off. So again, as of this recording, these boxes are worth quite a bit of money now, and it's kind of, again, silly. Now, we did not buy this box recently because we have been into the non-sports trading cards. We've had a lot on hand just as kind of refills and things like that when we run out selling them pack at a time at $2 a pack. Like I said, that is not the case. This box here, as of yesterday, these were selling for about $4,000 a piece. Now, not in this condition, but the highest eBay sales were $4,000. To put that in perspective, at the end of December, this box was selling for $400 tops. In November, they were $200. And a year ago, you could always find a sealed box of 1990 Marvel Universe trading cards for $100. So, um, yeah, if I knew how to make graphs, I'd make one. But it's skyrocketing out of control. The frenzy is here, and the reason it is here is these cards. No one has been grading these cards, and what grading is it's a process where you send the card into a company, they look at it, they give the card a numeric rating, and they put it inside plastic forever. There's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, grading's silly. I don't like that." Well, everyone is allowed to like cards how they want. And if you're not interested in grading, one cool part about all these cards getting opened up is there are going to be lots more on the market that came out of packs, and you'll be able to buy if that's your thing too. But anyway, it's a really great way. It's used in comics and sports cards mainly, and now I guess just cards is the better term for that. So when you have a 9.8 CGC card or a CGC comic, that lets you know it is mintier than all other copies. So honestly, I think it's good for the hobby. And it's funny to even call non-sports trading cards a hobby. Mainly, it's just been kind of an underground thing that a lot of us are into, but is not mainstream at all. But a lot of people open these packs as kids, had a fondness for them. And because they were open as kids, there's not as many pristine ones. So anyway, with that little intro, we're going to start opening this box right now, and we'll show you the contents. I'll get that lid off. Oh yeah, that box is already broken there, so I do not feel too bad opening this one up, especially because we've had it a long time. So you'll see these were packed tight for delivery purposes. Um, Another thing I think that's happening is maybe as new people get into the grading, they are not aware how grading works. And I'll be honest, we have started sending things in for grading, but I've never graded items before recently, before kind of the end of 2020. So all right, so there's our box. We'll set. Oh, I don't know. It's not really even that cool to put in view, but so we'll leave it alone. We'll just put it over to the side. All right, so we are looking for nothing in particular. We know what these boxes have. They're all kind of the same, but the holograms are different. So holograms are kind of fun to search for, and the numbers of cards you'll get are fun to search for too. So let's just start. We'll pull out one of every pack color. All right, looks like we got them. All right, I still find it so funny. It hasn't clicked the value of these cards in my head yet. Because to me, I think of this as at the end, we were, there was a tiny price increase in 2019, but, we were selling these packs at like $4 a pack max, which is the same as a pack of Pokemon cards or Magic cards. So it's just really funny that as of today, I know people have easily sold these out of the box, a single pack for $60. So, and we're opening 36 of them up. We're using scissors, super exciting. And I'm still pretty new to videos of pack openings, so I'll try to do as much as I can in front of the camera, or at least talk and make this interesting while I do so. All right, so here's pack number 1. Just kind of push those out. All right, ooh, we got a checklist. Put over, we've got Juggernaut, Spider-Man versus Green Goblin, famous battles card, Thing versus Hulk. See if we can get a focus better just while. There we go. Looks like that's about my focus. Okay. Thing versus Hulk. Oh, Thanos. X-Men versus Avengers. One of the funny joke cards. Wolverine. Submariner. Another joke card. Thor versus Loki. And She-Hulk. That's a great pack. The other thing I think where the appeal of these will come is there are all kinds of characters. It's not just like, oh, like for example, sports cards. And again, I'm not a sports card person. I don't know much about them, but I do know how collecting works. So sports cards, the value usually filters to a couple people in a box. I think with comic cards, it's going to be a lot flatter, but certain people like this Thanos card, um, like that's just a sweet card. Let alone, we actually got one that looks pretty darn centered. So this is one we'll probably submit for grading. Um, the centering is really tough, and also it's hard. It's going to be really hard to see on this video, and we'll go through it later. But the actual any pock marks on the card can hurt the value as far as getting it a perfect 10. And I think some people, when sending things in, including us, as I start sending things in for the first time, figuring out what is a perfect 10 and what's even an 8, because an 8 is still considered mint, that's going to be really tough. But this is really good. A good sign, I guess, is that out of our first pack, they are all centered really well. So who knows? Maybe this was off the production line on a good day. But now if you look at this Namor card, that one's not quite as centered. You see on the right side, there's way less white than the left. So that would be an uncentered card that even if this was a more popular character, personally I like Namor. He's awesome. He's one of the first Marvel characters around. But, he's not as popular as Wolverine or Spider-Man or even Stan Lee, which we'll get to when we open one. But that would be a card I would wait on sending, or I wouldn't send it in at the more expensive. I might send it in at the $10 rate. But the company we send graded cards to is PSA, and they are getting very behind on getting things graded. So let's see, we'll just make a couple piles because we will be sorting these later to see what we have. So let's just at least make a famous battles pile, a joke pile, a superhero pile, and a supervillain pile. So at least that way we can kind of line these up as we open them. We'll put the checklist there. All right, so that's pack 1. That was exciting. So let's see what we've got here. I don't know. We'll see how long this goes. Got Colossus, Thor, Electro. It's funny seeing these again out of the pack. They are so awesome. Like this set just made so many changes and kind of became the template for Marvel cards. I listened to a podcast on the Marvel Card Collectors podcast recently with Bob Budiansky. He was in charge of a lot of these on the Marvel end. And ooh, we got a Black Panther. We'll look at that in a second. Then I'll go back to our story. We'll show that off longer. Yeah, that one's awesome. So see how centered it is? That is definitely one that, again, it's just fun getting into this grading. We bought a centering tool recently that'll show us how centered a card is. There's some apps on your phone that you can download too, but that is one we'll definitely put in the grading pile. So we'll put that right in the sleeve and keep it protected. What I was going to say about there's a really good interview. If you have not subscribed to the Marvel Collectors Worldwide podcast, and join the Marvel Collectors Worldwide Facebook group. Great resources for cards. They do a lot on older cards. They do a lot on newer cards. They are just worth checking out. Oh, that Moon Knight card is so cool. We've got Dagger, another joke card. These jokes are ridiculous. So let's just read one just to show you. Again, this is something I love about non-sports cards of the time, and especially of the 80s. It died out in the 90s, but it was a whole bunch of just awful, awful jokes that kids would think they're funny. They would hope kids would think are funny. Were put on cards for no great reason all the time. I tested these against my fourth grade daughter, and newsflash, they are not funny. So we've got Magneto. Why do you hate the X-Men so much? I don't know. I just find myself strangely attracted to them. In case the joke wasn't enough, he even explains the joke on the card. That's a little magnetic humor there. Because of magnets. All right. And how come your kids, Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, turned out to be the good guys? I'm a failure as a father. I mean, this is so ridiculous, but I love it. They're, again, it's one of those things where how got Loki, and again, here's an even in the same box in the same pack, printing errors or printing centering is not always great. Anyway, we just love it. These cards are fantastic. The look, the texture, the fact that another big thing, this set is kind of becoming the popular one. Oh, that's a really cool Spider-Man card. And again, not our first card to grade because of that centering issue, but the card is sweet. Again, centering on cards isn't always an issue, always the most important part. Sometimes it's just cool that they're cool. For these most valuable comics, they're awesome. Oh man, I just got lost in thought again while opening. So how and why are these getting so popular? Over the last year, quarantine, I think, has given people a lot of time to look back on nostalgia that they might not have before. All right, I'm going to be honest. Sorting them all live on video is probably going to be too slow, so we'll not sort them online. But anyway, all right, so why these cards are getting so popular? I think people are just really into nostalgia right now. Oh, that's a great Wolverine. And with less to do out in the world right now, um, getting into things you used to like is a really popular thing right now to do. So with that, Marvel cards were kind of poised to become popular again. At the beginning of this pandemic and quarantine time, oh, here we go. We got Stan Lee. We'll come back to that in a second. I think a lot of people just started naturally going, oh, I used to love those cards. I should see what a box is. And when a box was $100 in April, it was just really fun to open up. All right, now this is one of the most popular cards of the set. It's such a cool painting of Mr. Marvel. Again, this one's not centered great, but at this point, we're kind of sending all of them into grade. Even if they aren't perfect tens, a lot of people are wanting this card. This card is selling for thousands of dollars as a 10. It hit a new record for a PSA 9 at $650. And I don't know if that's the ceiling yet. So anyway, at this level, I think everyone is going to want to own this card that gets back into cards. And whether it's a beat up one from a childhood collection or a PSA 7 or 8, which is probably what this could end up with the centering. Again, we're not experts yet, but we're getting there. But right now, our plan is just to send all these cards in, all the Stan Lee cards, because they're great. And even the Wolverine. People love Wolverine. So we'll probably be sending that one in too. So yeah, I think it was kind of a natural. Some people have said, "Oh, people are manipulating the market. This is going to go down." I don't think that's true. Oh, we've got the Aunt May card. Let's come back to her. Here, this one's funny. They did a really good job on the stats in the back. So we've got real name May Parker, group affiliation Gray Panthers, pies baked 984, meals served 11,743, wrinkles on fate on wrinkles on face too many to count, life-threatening illnesses recovered from 23. So did you know, despite all the years Aunt May has known Peter Parker, she isn't aware that he's Spider-Man and is in fact terrified of the web-slinging superhero. Aunt May, the character, has kind of got retconned lately, but um, I think that card's just funny. It's you could tell they, in a good way, didn't take themselves too seriously with all this. Ooh, an actual rookie card from Nomad. Now, rookie is kind of a funny term here. We've got what the 1989 Avengers looked like. I love it. Not, 100% the team you're going to be excited about if you're coming from movies, but it's a good team. I like that lineup of that time. So yeah, so some people have said, "Oh, people are manipulating the market. This is a fad." I don't think it's quite that. Now, I'm sure there are people that were buying this stuff up and sensed it ahead of time. Oh, we got one of the Spider-Man cards. We already got a black suit. Which one? This is the early. Yep, this is number 29. So black suit comes at the front of the pack, and then this Spider-Man and Cosmic Spider-Man come in the middle of the numbering at least. Oh, and an awesome Hulk. Again, the art on these is just really sweet. Cloak and Dagger got a team picture. Black Cat, Storm. So yeah, I don't really think a ton of people are manipulating the market, or at least to the extreme that um, some people believe. Like it's like others have said this. Someone else who's been kind of getting into this from the sports side on his YouTube channel, kind of explaining it. Northeast NE Ohio Sports Cards. He made a really good point of it, just the natural progression of people discovering these again, and then for a lot of people that are used to the sports card market, it's just kind of a math problem. So meaning if there's a card in a box and you have a chance at pulling another checklist, if you have a chance at pulling a Stan Lee card that's going to sell for over $1,000, then buying that box, and if you're going to get 3 of those cards, buying that box for $2,000 doesn't sound silly, especially because you're getting other cards. Now with Marvel cards, in an entire box, you have a chance of getting a whole bunch of awesome characters. So this isn't like, and again, I'm sorry that I don't know a lot about sports stuff, so I'm not even going to try to name exact examples that I haven't researched. But if you are going to get people, if you're going to get a box of sports cards and this one rookie card could be worth this, and there's this many in there, and there's a chance, but the next card, the $2,000 card is in there, but the next card is only worth 150. You're going to do that math when you're figuring this out. Now with Marvel cards and we dropped our X-Force card, and the way these are going, there's a really good chance that almost every card in the set is going to be wanted by someone. And I do not think, again, I'm not an expert in sports, but I'm pretty sure not every single sports card ever printed is something that will have a home and find a home where someone is excited to get that card at a good price. But again, with this new wave of Marvel cards, like there is a chance that almost every card in here will be wanted by someone. So thankfully for someone like me, oh, that's good timing. We got Atlantis Attacks. Like, I loved that comic. That was a cool crossover when they did through the annuals, and it was through all the Avengers and West Coast Avengers comics. Like, I really like the West Coast Avengers. I know they are not the most popular team, even though most of the members are now on Disney Plus. But how many people want that PSA 10 Atlantis Attacks card? Like, I do, maybe some others, but um, not as many people. Oh gosh, this is like a Paul pack. Like, who else is going for a New Warriors 10? I might be the only one that's submitting New Warriors cards, and a whole bunch of them in hopes that a 10 exists. So what's cool about these is as more collectors get into the cards and really see what they look like after they're graded, I think the chance for a lot of these cards to be wanted is pretty good. So with a lot of these characters are going to be someone's favorite character, and that kind of helps the box price go. Where if someone's going to grade, if I was to open up this whole box and send every card in, I don't think that would be smart. But the chances of someone buying the cards, if we did it on the slow grade, is pretty possible. Like someone wanting every card. I don't know if Fool Killer is anyone's favorite character. He really wasn't around too much longer after he made it in the set. But that's something else I love about these sets is they kind of guessed on new characters on who would be cool and who would be worthy of putting in a set. So as these got more popular, Marvel would try really hard to push some of those new characters almost like marketing. So you'd see, all right, Generation X is coming out. We've got to put them in the cards. 2099 is going to be so hot, and it was. But then 2099, I would say, is over represented in the once you get to 1993. Oh, there's another good Thanos card. And you'll see again, that one's pretty centered. Just on eyeballing it, it's a little off, but that might be good. So we'll put it in our great pile for now. Our check and recap pile. I haven't even looked at how many packs. We gotta do a quick move the trash out of the way. Let's do a count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, so I thought we were a lot farther than we were, but we've only opened one fourth of the packs. So, 36. So maybe we should speed this along. I don't know how long the viewership is to one of these, but there hasn't been a recent box opening on YouTube. Oh, and there we go. We got one right off the top of the pack. So here we go. This is exciting. All right, I'm gonna grab a sleeve really quick because these holograms are awesome and kind of rare. So we're gonna not touch it with human hands here and go right into the sleeve as quickly as possible. All right, so I guess we'll talk holograms right now. I'm going to pull it out of the sleeve a little so we can see it. Okay, so the big thing with these holograms, they are amazing. They are so cool looking. We've got Cosmic Spider-Man, who is on the cover of the box and kind of starting to be known as the iconic card in the set, other than Stan. What's going to be really hard to see here is all across. Let's see if we can see it on camera. Oh, there, if I hold it this way, you can kind of see it. See all those horizontal lines across the middle? To my eye, I can see them really well. So out the gate, this card is considered, not damaged, but would not be a pristine card, not a perfect 10. There's no chance of this getting a perfect 10. With that, though, what we don't know about the holograms is how lenient they are in the other parts. There are so little amount of holograms that have been sent in so far, and a really small percent of 10s have come back. So if these people kind of submit them, they don't know. So even though we have those lines, this could be still a 7 or an 8, could be a 9. That being said, the 8s already, like 2 weeks ago, the 8s were selling for $300 or $400 a piece, just because there is such a rarity for 10. A 10 just sold for a couple thousand on its own. I want to say the Magneto 10 sold for $5,000. So anyway, holograms are going to get about 2 to 3 per box, but there's a good chance they're damaged. They come on the top of the pack, so they're rubbed against there. They don't have protection on cards. And yeah, they are awesome, but they're not a great shape item. Sweet, we got Venom. There's the awesome Venom card. And again, centering's not perfect, but that one's pretty sweet. We will probably grade the Venom card eventually. Now, we are still, like I said, new to grading. We've sent a couple things off to PSA. We sent some Pokemon cards to CGC that we're getting back as well. Oh, there's a sweet Spider-Man versus Venom card. That one's awesome. I'm going to put that aside too. Oh, what I was going to say about grading is the grading companies have been so overwhelmed that it is really slow to get cards back. So right now, there's a couple of ways to send in your cards. The main way, and the way we're doing it with our cards we think will have the highest return, is we're sending them at the expedited shipping. So what that means is we're paying more money, paying $50 to get the card graded and have the card come back faster. That can take still about 2 months. I know that sounds silly, but in the end, if that Stan Lee card comes back and is worth a whole bunch of money, and we paid $50 or $75 for it, then hey, cool, we've got it back. It's going to sell way more than $50, especially considering we did not pay the premium for these boxes that we're opening, because again, we just had them sitting around forever. Captain America card's awesome too. It's another one that's obviously sweet. Quasar too. Love the New Mutants card too. Right at the changeover is where this set was. So you've got, Rob Liefeld has just joined, drawing the New Mutants. A lot of history we won't go into here with it, but this card is awesome. I think because it's that good transition period. You don't have a classic New Mutants card in existence, and after this year, it switches to X Force. So anyway, so yeah, with this grading, the big mystery on how these prices will go is, do we send things in now for a little more money, or do we wait and hope this market does stick around, even though I do think the market is sticking around. So I've kind of decided I'm going to send some things in to kind of test the waters, and some of these cards we're going to keep on the side. Not a good Spider-Man. And again, a little off center, but like that, maybe we're not going to send in at the highest rate. That Wolverine is very off center, so that one we probably will wait to send in. So yeah, a lot of these places that a lot of people that are more used to grading, um, a lot of the things you'll send on the bulk rate, and the bulk rate again, it's $10 a card, so it's not still not free, but you cannot just sign up for an account and send one card at $10. You have to send minimum 50 cards at once. Those cards, before this all, the not just the comic craze is happening now, but this last year, sports cards have gotten more exciting. Pokemon grading has become a thing. And for that, ooh, that's a really good Cosmic Spider-Man. A little off center, but still probably great. So in the past, at the $10 rate for cards, it would take, oh, very off center, but again, we love it anyway. So in the past for cards, it would take 6 months to get your cards back at that bulk rate. What a lot of card dealers do is they just send things off every week, and once you start getting stuff back, you're in that process. Ooh, we got another hologram. It's a Wolverine. Do the same thing. We'll hold it on the side here. Now that one's not as centered as well, but kind of looking myself, it looks really clean. I don't see any surface dots. I'm kind of just using the light reflection. And I see on camera it already looks not great. So this one actually looks really sharp. It's not perfectly centered. It's a little higher, but that one feels good. So it's exciting. Again, half of this is for fun right now. Half of this is seeing where this new collectible market goes. All right, and it's sleeve now. So yeah, a lot of cards like, Silver Surfer versus Thanos, that's a sweet card. I'm probably not going to pay $50 to get it graded right away, but I may pay $10 to get some graded um, for later. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants card, the family photo. It's funny. Hologram packs always have such a random mix. But like this Black Panther card, that is pretty centered. It's more centered than others. So that might be one we choose to send in quicker. Because again, we don't know how many people are going to like this. We've never stopped liking cards here at Heroic Goods and Games, but I don't know if the rest of the world is going to stick around. And if they don't, that's okay. This is fun as it's happening. It's just, to me, really funny that the thing um, we know a lot about here at the store and have had for sale on the shelf since day one is now like the most talked about thing. I kind of giggled. We got our first cold call last week where someone just called the store asking if we had any 90s Marvel cards hiding in the back room. And as a store owner, you get a lot of those calls where people are like, "Hey, do you have any?" Someone called about Pokemon and asked, "Hi, I'm wondering if you have any old Pokemon boxes to dig through. I'm less concerned about the condition, but more concerned about the age and that no one else has looked through them." And I just kind of giggled when someone called and asked that question because, like, the answer is no. Like, that's literally my job to know the value of items. So, anyway, I do know people who've had success going to comic shops in the last couple of weeks, hunting around. Oh, yeah, that one's super centered. I love it. They've been hunting around and seeing um, what might have been in boxes for ages. And comic shops that have been around a long time, when the boom happened, they sold a lot of this stuff, but when the comic crash happened in the mid 90s, they had tons of this on hand. Stores had cases of these boxes as other stores went out of business and could get bought up. So, again, for a long time, these were not popular. People would buy them to kind of get the cards they want. Even in the trading card um, kind of community that's been around, the 1990 set has never been the most popular set. And the main reason is because everyone has it already. Oh, that Venom's a little off centered, but still great. So, yeah, the funny part with it is the set's very easy to collect. It was super cheap to collect. So, at any point, you could just buy a box. You would get a complete set. Usually, um, in the boxes I've opened, you're going to get two of every card. It's usually 2 to 4. So, and centering wasn't something we were looking at when we'd collect these later. So, it's just kind of funny to me still how popular they've gotten. It's amazing to me the value on these cards that's come now. So, but I think it's really exciting. Like I said, I've loved these cards. I thought they were going to kind of make a comeback once Disney bought Marvel, but they didn't. So, oh, a double Wolverine. Look at that. All right. And let's literally look at it now. So again, this one does not have any of those lines that Spider-Man had. Looks really sharp, not perfectly centered, but this is probably one of the most centered holograms I've seen. So this one will definitely get sent off and submitted in that first batch we do. That one looks fantastic. So I am really excited for this one. So some tiny little, like one pockmark I could see, which would be too hard to show on camera. But again, if the prices hold today, and there's not many of these in existence yet, if you go to the website for PSA, psa.com/pop, P-O-P, it'll show you the population reports. There just aren't many of these graded. So the mystery is how many people want these in their collections graded, and I think the number is bigger than people realize. And then how many exist to make the price that will be in that perfect condition, how many exist for everyone. And I think the number is smaller than people realize. So that one will get graded fast. That's the last thing I wanted to touch on. Oh yeah, again, I love a hologram pack. They're all turned around. So I was trying to do some research on Michael Jordan rookie cards. Let's see if I have this memorized. Oh, that one's great too. Be careful with that Stan Lee card. Yep, that one's fantastic. That one's really centered. Again, it's hard to show on here, but because it came from the middle of the pack, there's no dents on it or anything. So that one will also go into grading right away. that aside for now. Okay. Oh, so what I wanted to say before we're done, we're not quite done. Let's look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 packs. So we're getting close. So 1986 Fleer basketball. Again, I'm not a sports expert. I'm so sorry if I get any of this wrong, but I've been trying to ask about the population counts of those boxes and stuff. Some people think there were 1 million boxes made. Some people say 2 million. No one knows the exact number. But if we estimate that there was 1 million Michael Jordan boxes made, that means I think it was 1 point, because there's 36 packs, 11 cards in a pack, and 132 cards in the set, and that set doesn't have holograms or anything from 1986. Oh, like really good Black Panther. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so with Michael Jordan, the estimate would be there were 1.5 million Michael Jordan rookie cards from that Fleer 86 set produced. That is a lot of cards. So out of those 1.5 million, and I'm sorry I did not check Beckett's grading and other grading companies, I just checked PSA. Out of the 1.5 million, only a little off center, but still sweet. Only 4,000 have been graded, 4,400, and only 44 of those cards became a PSA 10, and like 2,000 became a PSA 9. So this set kind of follows, the reason I'm using that set as an example is when the set came out, it was popular, it was cool, people liked basketball cards, but they went into the hands of kids. So now, just a couple years later, 1989, Topps, was like a huge sports cards boom. They printed way too many of them. Everyone has 1989 Topps baseball cards. I've got a binder myself somewhere. So, but 1986, the cards were still being bought mostly by kids. So people weren't buying those. They weren't encasing them in acid-free plastic, stuff like that. So a lot of those cards got wrecked. Even by 1990, when if you think about 1990, all the comics from the Silver Age were only 25, 30 years old max. These cards are now 30 years old. There's not much of them in existence that are perfect. So just like that 1986 Fleer, and even for a couple years after, they were everywhere. You could buy them. You could buy a case of them. A sealed case now of 1986 Fleer just sold for, I don't remember. It was over $1 million. I remember, because it has a chance of having many of those Michael Jordan rookies inside that are still crisp. So will a case of Marvel sell for that much? I don't think so. But I don't know if you've noticed, but in pop culture, Marvel is pretty popular right now. It is pop culture. And again, that sounds so weird to say, but the fact that Marvel characters are so popular now, especially compared to when they were in 1990, it's hard to believe. I've told my kids not too many times because it sounds annoying, old man stuff, but like this stuff just wasn't around everywhere. Oh, and I guess we'll pause our discussion because we got 4 holograms in one box. That's fantastic. All right, grabbing a sleeve quick. All right, now right away on this one, again, I don't know how easy it'll be to show in there. Let's try to push it out of the sleeve just a little bit. There you go. So right above the sleeve indentation there. See if I can get it on camera there. You can kind of see it. We've got one of those, again, it's a horizontal line, but through this card, it's a vertical line. So we have a very visible line right out of the pack. So again, I don't know if I'm going to send this one in expedited, but I still might. We don't know what a PSA 6 hologram has sold for yet, or if that would even count as a 6, because they don't exist. So I may just roll the dice and send that one for the speedier cost, because the card is still cool. Like, that is just a sweet card. I think as people realize how many of these don't get graded at that, even an 8, I think they'll stick. The price will stick because, again, they are rare. There's 5 holograms. You're getting 4 total. Actually, I've never seen 4. Usually it's 3, but so we'll just say 3. You're getting 3 holograms in an entire box, so it's pretty darn rare. The chances of getting a perfect 10 are smaller, and there's less cards. So I think it's still worth grading every hologram out of a pack, personally. We'll find out if I'm wrong on that later, I guess. So yeah, so my Michael Jordan comparison is people laughed and said those cards were mass produced and will never be expensive. And again, I'm not knocking Michael Jordan, but ask any 5-year-old who Spider-Man is versus Michael Jordan, and I have a feeling most of the 5-year-olds or even 10-year-olds will know Spider-Man a lot more than Michael Jordan, which is a shame. But that is just how life is. So with that, I do think this trend on these cards has staying power. Just like basketball cards, I don't think every set that had, if we continue that example, I don't think every Marvel set will continue to be skyrocket to the moon on price. Oh, another Cosmic Spider-Man looks good. But I think there's room to grow, considering all these boxes for years were so cheap to get. It's just really an expensive hobby to buy a box and have fun and open it up and relive that. And I'm not even saying relive. I never owned a box of cards as a kid. Like it was, you you built your collection as you had extra money. So, and by the time we got in, this set wasn't always in stores all the time. Like by the time we were heavily buying and it was popular, Series 2 seemed to have a way higher print run to me. Again, no one knows the print run numbers. They have not been found in research, or the people that know aren't speaking about it. Black Panther's in really good shape too. So yeah, I think there is less of this product out there in box than people realize. Who knows? In 5 years, we'll be like, how could we have opened that box on a YouTube video? That was such a waste. It's worth $10,000 now. I don't think that's quite the case. But again, this is our chance to have fun with it. We did not spend that much money on this box, and we were kind of ahead by having it ahead of time. I don't know people that sold their boxes when they were at $1,000 like 2 weeks ago, and now are like, how could I have sold it? I should have held out. And I'm like, well, in the end, not to say it's just money, but it is. These are collectibles. No one's forcing you to sell things. And if you bought a box of these, in 1998 for $30 and you just made $1,000 on it, that's pretty cool. That's good. If someone else sold it and made $2,000 on it, that's cool to them too, I guess. So like I said, all these boxes behind us in the video, are we going to open all of them for grading? I still don't know. Like I said, I don't know how deep this is going to go, but every box has become expensive. So the other ones have all gone up in price within a matter of we're in the middle of February right now as we film this. So in 6 weeks time, now there's 0 boxes of Marvel cards that say Marvel on them under $100. That is wild. I would have never guessed. Oh, and this is last pack. So, all right. So we've got our final pack of cards. Again, what's fun about just opening these is it's not like, oh, we have to find this card. They're all awesome. Every one of these cards being the first set with custom artwork in Marvel cards is just sweet. Hey, we end it with an Iron Man. All right, we're going to take a moment to pause, show our best cards off, and we will be right back. And we're back. I pulled out some of the cards that seem to be the ones that have been the most popular so far on the front end of grading, and now we're going to show them off. So here's we got 3 Captain Americas. Now again, not the most perfect centered, but that's okay. This one's pretty close. Again, the decision now is which cards do we send off for the fast grading and which ones do we send for normal and which ones do we just sell for a couple bucks. And in the middle of adding single cards to our website, which is kind of funny. Like 6 months ago, I'm gonna put every one of our cards on our website. It'll be easy. Oh, there's Black Panthers, and there's the rest of them. And it's been a long struggle, or not. I don't want to say struggle. It's very tedious because there's no databases for non-sports trading card singles, so I've been kind of making it. This Black Panther is great, but even I hadn't been paying attention, and I had been paying attention. The last spike, I forgot we'd probably be showing up in Google on these cards. Someone bought out a lot of our cards, a lot we didn't have, but again, those are ones that are collections. All these Black Panther cards look great. Like they're very centered, and again, very clean. So we'll probably be sending those into grading sometime sooner than later. Got 3 Thanos to end our Avengers that are at least the most popular for grading. Next is our X-Men. I think Storm's awesome, and I think Storm will be a card people want. And the art on these first Storm cards is just sweet. Now, I must have missed, because again, every time I've never seen less than 1 per pack, or less than 2 per pack, so there must be another of Mohawk Storm in there, but it's just a cool card. Now we're on to our Wolverines. Now there are 3 Wolverines in the set, but one is him in his like the patch outfit, so it's not quite as popular. But having both outfits, I think these all don't have grading potential, but you can see the cards are awesome, and you can see why they have so much popularity. All right, now for again the headliner on the box, let's kind of turn into the main card of the set, or the headline card of the set, the Cosmic Spider-Man. We got 2 of them. Spidey in his classic outfit. We got what, 4? No, just also 2. And then black suit Spider-Man, we got 3. It looks like. So we've got black suit, black suit, black suit. Going off to the black suit next, we got Venom. And the last of the more popular normal cards is the Spider-Man versus Venom. And again, these aren't the only cards we'll be grading from the set. These are kind of like some of the more popular ones so far out the gate that already have the most graded, and people are kind of already looking forward to grabbing their collections quick. Now, the Mr. Marvel card, we only got 2, but that's okay. They're both pretty darn close on centering. They aren't perfect, but they're in great shape. And really, it's just an awesome looking card. Like, that's something, again, a video shows, but in person, again, seeing these and seeing how bright these cards are out of the packs, I totally understand the appeal. They are so cool. They're so awesome. And again, that artwork on that stand card is just sweet. All right, now for the holograms, we did get Cosmic Spider-Man. Again, you can see it if we move it enough with those lines. We got Spider-Man versus Green Goblin, also with a line through the middle, if you hold it right. And Wolverine, we got 2 of, including one that's just really centered. Actually, they're both really centered. Again, these holograms were, they make the hologram, put it onto the cardboard. The machine was not precise at this time in life. This was the first set they tried these holograms with, so they are rough. They got better, much better, with aligning the holograms later, but when they're visibly off, it's really fascinating how different they can be. Anyway, so we got 2 great ones, great Wolverines. These 2 will definitely be submitted on our faster track to see what happens with them. So thank you so much if you're still watching. That was a really fun box opening. We will be doing a couple more, at least opening probably 1 box of each of these sets, just so we can talk about them, get some history out on YouTube with them, and we'll see what happens next. So thanks again. If you have a moment to subscribe to our channel, check out the website, we really appreciate that. These won't be on sale on the website as soon as this launches, because we're going to do some prep work first with them. But we will update you as we grade them and show them off when they come back, etc. So this is the spot to watch for that stuff. And yeah, thanks again. This was really fun opening. Such a good nostalgia wave, and it was super fun. Thanks again, everybody.